Despite economic hardship, the Biden administration is still pushing consumers to purchase expensive electric vehicles. My next guest is the author of the new book, The Great Campaign Against the Great Reset. Please welcome the president of the Human Rights Education and Relief Organization, Jason Jones. Jason, welcome to the
Thanks for having
program.
Thanks for having me on, Tom.
So, I'm sure you're familiar with the Biden EPA's proposed tailpipe emission regulations, which would ensure up to 67% of new vehicle sales in the United States would be electric by 2032. So, my question is, would this have any positive effect on the environment?
Actually, it would have the exact opposite. It would have a negative effect on the environment because with today's internal combustion engines, the emissions are very small. And so most of the pollution that comes from vehicles today, whether they're internal combustion engines or electric vehicles, comes from particulates from tires. The tires on electric vehicles, because electric vehicles are so much heavier, produce 30% more pollution than internal combustion engines. So even if the Biden administration were to reach their goals, which they won't, and which is a good thing, it would have a negative impact on the environment. But the real catastrophe about electric vehicles isn't the impact on the environment, and they are devastating to the environment. It's the humanitarian catastrophe. Every electric vehicle has cobalt that comes from Congo in the lithium batteries that come from what are called artesian mines. These are where children are digging by hand for the cobalt that is necessary for these electric vehicles, and 80% of that cobalt comes from Congo. So it's a humanitarian catastrophe. It is an environmental catastrophe. But in my book, The Great Campaign Against the Great Reset, I detail the main ideological weapon of the Great Reset is victimism. It's feigning concern for the vulnerable while trampling on them, all the while acquiring more wealth and more power. In his Christmas address, King Charles said we shouldn't let war and poverty and famine distract us from having compassion for the climate. And to me, that is a perfect statement, the perfect victimist statement.
And I guess it might be easy for King Charles or maybe the Biden administration to ignore a lot of these facilities in China or the Congo. But taking things back to the environmental angle for a second here, let's say the government bureaucrats do have access to all the data. Is there a motivation for the EV crusade climate focused? Is it corporate interest, or do you think it's something a little bit more nefarious?
I think it's, obviously for most people, it's as Hannah Arendt detailed in her wonderful book, Eichmann in Jerusalem, these bureaucrats, it's just the banality of evil. They're going about their job, doing what they need to do to advance their careers. But I do think it's something more nefarious. It's about the centralization of wealth and power. It's about controlling movement. It's about monopolizing energy. And we have energy deserts across the world. So this is about controlling energy, its distribution and use, controlling movement, and amassing wealth. So I do believe it's more nefarious. And of course, the fact that the whole world knows that at the beginning of the electric vehicle industry, I call them not EVs, but BVs, blood vehicles. We had blood diamonds. At the beginning of the supply chain, our children shoveling for cobalt, covered in sores and dying young of cancer.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that a lot of these mine workers don't have power over their own destiny. But here in the United States, we certainly do, and free transportation is an American ideal. So companies like, let's say, Ford or General Motors have scaled back their EV productions based on poor sales. Does the consumer actually have the power to defeat a government initiative like the Green Agenda?
Yeah, and they are defeating it, right? Despite all the subsidies and the propaganda, we really are beginning to see the catastrophic implosion and death of the electric vehicle industry. Almost every manufacturer of EVs is stopped their plans to continue to produce electric vehicles, or they're dramatically cutting back. So I think now is our opportunity as consumers. Now, my organization, we work around the world in facing genocide, democide, and war. But the reason why we've taken this on is we see a real opportunity um, to liberate the children of Congo from this abusive industry, because consumers have spoken, and people are waking up. to the reality of the electric vehicle industry. They play on our sentiments, they play on our desire to be good stewards of the environment and to be good citizens. But as the consumer begins to wake up and realize that um, the beautiful electric vehicle that you have parked in your yard, it was birthed with a child with a shovel in Congo, spending the few years he has alive on this earth digging for the cobalt that was necessary for the battery in your car.
And this is all a much bigger picture than just finding your next charging station. So if you would like to join the great campaign against the Great Reset, check out Jason Jones's new book. Jason, thank you so much for coming on to One America News.
Thank you for having me.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.